Hello and happy middle of the week. My name is Michael Leeserman here with the Trial Guide's Tip of the Day. It is Wednesday, August 28th, 2024. Today's tip comes from the classic David Ball on Damages 3. Here to read the tip is David Ball. Thank you so much for being here with us.
My pleasure, as always. I love doing these things. This one is, in voir dire, legalese discourages jurors from talking freely with you. In opening, legalese makes jurors listen to you less and trust you less. And I might add that legalese, any place in trial, is a bad idea.
Legalese, these long legal words. People still using that legalese stuff?
Yes, a lot. And it's better than it was years ago. When those words were originally written, which was in Damages 1, which is 25 years ago. God. It was the rule. You heard legalese, not just choice of words, but syntax, the phrases, and my question, people still do it a lot. It's because everybody went to law school, right? You do what you learn and what is encouraged. And it's very hard not to fall back on that. People say to me, well, we'll be talking about their case when I'm consulting with them. I'll say, no, don't say that word. And they'll say, oh, no, I would never say that in trial. I said, yeah, you will. If you're using it now, you will use it. And no, I won't. And of course they do. You fall back on what you're most accustomed to doing. You don't completely do a makeover.
Yeah. There's two things there that really strike me. The first is, yes, it's because it's what we learn in law school. And it's also because, and I'll speak from experience. This is my 30th year as a lawyer. And I think the first 10 years could have been much better if I had not been so insecure and worried about showing how smart I was. And so often I see in trial the lawyers not trying to simply prove the truth of their case, but rather show how smart they are. So I think it's both of those things.
You hit the nail on the head. It comes out of insecurity. And when you do things out of insecurity, most of the time that goes to arrogance. The use of legalese strikes jurors as you're being an arrogant jerk. Oh, so you went to law school and I did. I see how you think of me. The best cure for legalese I know is be aware that in the jury room, when the jurors are on their own, they frequently make fun of you using your legalese, and everybody laughs at it. So if you enjoy being made a fool of, go right on using your legalese. And I realize that's a bit of a psychological maneuver, but it's also true.
Yeah, I think it's almost impossible. I would say it actually is impossible to speak too simply to a jury, as long as there's a big caveat that you do it assuming jurors don't have knowledge, but assuming they have intelligence. In other words, as long as I'm not condescending to you, I want to speak very simply, very slowly, and explain things that, and sometimes it's with a preface, like for some of those who might not know what force is, what is force, Mrs. Expert? The simpler, the better.
And I think you need to be careful in expecting jurors to learn vocabulary. They don't. Now, that said, there may be cases where a single word or two of legalese can work very much in your favor, as long as it's only one or two words, or a medical term. This actually applies not just to legalese, but to medicalese and every other kind of technical or jargon language. Yeah, you can have one or two of them if they become a theme in your case and are used so often and so clearly that their meaning is clear. If you get somebody on the stand, a witness who's using legalese or technicalese, you pretty much need to translate it for them every time that they use it, or the jurors won't follow it. They'll look like they follow it. They may even think they're following it, but boy, they'll get confused between plaintiff and defendant.
Absolutely.
That's not an automatic thing for them.
I will.
Been to trial knowing which is which.
I refuse to use that in jury instructions, and usually judges won't require it, but when they do, then at the very least, it's plaintiff Jane Smith and defendant ABC Trucking. People don't know what that is, and I wanted to say, well, go ahead.
Well, even some punitive damages. If you're forced to call them punitive damages, I guess you have to. But jurors are not moved to punish as much as they are to deter. We want to deter bad behavior. You've got to get me way high up on the anger and fury level before I want to go punish people.
Yeah, it's nice to use exemplary when you can. You mentioned a second thing that is huge, and I just don't want to run out of time to mention it. And that's that not only for us as lawyers, but when you're prepping your experts and every part of it, and prepping your clients, what I hear all the time is, well, don't worry, I won't say that at trial. People do. So when you're prepping your expert and they say, well, yeah, the coefficient, I won't say that at trial. Well, if you're not going to say it at trial, then how are you going to say it? Let's practice it now exactly as you're going to say it, because I'll screw it up as the lawyer. The expert will screw it up. The client will screw it up. If you don't practice.
When you are under pressure, I don't care what field you're in, this is a true thing. When you're under pressure, you fall back on your previous level of competence. So if it's a special skill to speak plain English, the minute you search for a word or the minute you're under pressure, you're going to fall back on the thing you're used to, which is using the legalese the way you do around your office or working with experts. Just get it out of your head altogether. You don't need those words. And in fact, Justice Scalia, bless or not bless him as is your preference, doesn't want you to use legalese in your motions. Judges don't like legalese in motions. They tell me that. Tell these damn lawyers to speak English in their motions.
Yeah, Brian Gardner and Justice Scalia's book, that's worth reading. Simple language.
That's mandatory. Read that.
Yeah. David, again, great wisdom from you today. Thank you so much.
And you will have a good day. Enjoy your morning beverage.
Let's take a deep breath together and be grateful to be alive this Wednesday. May we work today to help reduce suffering in the world. May our efforts as lawyers and as people help to repair the world. May we fiercely and compassionately advocate for our clients, champion their stories, and do so from a place of compassion. I'm going to ring a bell now. This can take you into a meditation practice, a prayer practice, or just remind you, wake up, it's Wednesday. Go out, do good things, and have fun while you're doing it.